and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here at this conference. My name is Scott Lucier. I am a practitioner in residence at Suffolk University in Boston. That's my official title. My real title is Map Guy, the map person, the map man. I'm the GIS contact. If anyone needs maps at Suffolk, they come to me. I also have the title of Drone Guy. If any drone projects going on at Suffolk, tends to go through me. So which is great because I love it. I love to talk about maps and drones. So, anyways, that's who I am. Been teaching GIS and drones and many other environmental courses for nearly 20 years at Suffolk. So I've seen it all. But what I want to talk to you today about is using Soar, the world's first digital atlas. So I was contacted by the blokes. Do you call Australians blokes? The fine gentlemen at Soar got an email one day, and they said, "Hey, take a look at our software. Right? We're trying something new. Sort of a startup company, and they're basically trying to make a digital map of or provide a digital atlas of the entire world. So everyone uploads their pixel-based images, and people are able to discover them and search for them and use them and collaborate, and it's really quite a neat tool. And I got this email. I said, okay, I get these emails every now and then, but this one kind of caught my eye, and I just found myself going back to it and starting to use it. And I gave my input to the guys building this thing, and we've hit it off, right? So. And I think it's a great tool, and I wanted to share it with everybody, so that's what this presentation is all about. So it's a web-based atlas, right? So I sort of think like Google Earth, but we'll get into the differences in a second. And basically, they want to geo-reference all the maps in the world. That's their bold mission. And when I say geo-reference, I mean pin it down onto the Earth where it's supposed to be. Sort of the magic of GIS these days. Things just kind of appear where they're supposed to be. But there's some technology behind all that. So, there are other maps, digital maps out there, Google Maps, Google Earth, Cesium Ion, Planet Labs, the David Rumsey collection, like all sorts of, historical maps that have already been digitized, but Soar wants to take all of them and put them all together and then be able to find them and, get them out to the world, right? I think that's the point here. So here's their main splash screen. If you go to soar.earth, EARTH, and now you just click enter the atlas, and you can either just browse, as a non-user, or you can sign up with just your email and become part of the community, which I think is totally worth it. So why did I like this, right? And I promise this we'll move on to interactive stuff. We won't be doing PowerPoints the whole time. Anyways, but why? What are the advantages of Soar over other software packages that I've looked at? 4 main reasons: search, connectivity for researchers, exposure for everyone else, and easy access to satellite imagery. And I'm going to go through each of these one by one. So the first one is search. So, a large part of your search algorithm is based on location. When you search for something and you say, it's one of the factors that is part of what you want, like, pizza places near, Boston Garden or whatever. Or the Google knows where you're at, right? It has your, your IP address and your location or your GPS location, and that matters. And that's part of, I don't really care about a pizza place in Anchorage, Alaska, right? I want to know things that are close by, right? So inherently, location has always been a part of search, right? So this kind of makes sense. Maps, as we know, are the natural form to convey location data. They've been doing it forever, right? That's the purpose of a map. So it only stands to reason, and this is kind of subtle, and I didn't quite catch on to this, even though I've been working with digital maps for 30 years, that, searching for map data should be done on a map. It makes perfect sense. It's, I don't know, you just have to kind of do it, right? So this here, I'll kind of walk you through here a typical search. Let's say I wanted to find a map of Shanghai, and so I go to Google. This is typically what people do. This is what I've been doing for 30 years. And I'll type in map of Shanghai, and I'll get all sorts of links, and I can go to the images and find images of these things. And okay, so I'm all right, getting, and I think, okay, getting pretty close already. And I look through the results and I say, oh, Shanghai maps here, right? This is a good one. Map of Shanghai's tourist attractions, and I can kind of see that, and I can say, oh, this is beautiful. This China discovery map, right? So pretty quickly I can get to this point, and I'm like, well, that's a beaut, right? Like I could see myself wanting to learn more about this map, or maybe use it, or get some inspiration out of it. And then so if I click there, I go to here the China Discovery website, and I start to see a lot of other information. And now Google is kind of leading me down this path, and I'm like, I just want the map, right? I just want to see the map, and I want to be able to download it, and and then I click again on other maps, and I'm on the best Shanghai Beijing tour. Best they're trying to sell me a tour, which is fine. I get it. Like, that's Google's mission to make money. But that's not really what I want. So now I say, okay, I can't find that. And I go all the way back to my search results, and I try again, and I search. Sometimes I get there, sometimes I don't. But it could be frustrating, and it's time consuming. Whereas Soar kind of short circuits that, right? And I think this is kind of the amazing part of it. And let me show you. So I'm at soar.earth, right? I'm live now. So I'm just going to sign in with my credentials. And now I am part of this. So I'm going to hit enter the atlas. And if I wanted to go through a tutorial to show me how to use it, you could just hit start tutorial. It would walk you through. I'm going to kind of skip that for now in the interest of time. And here we have this, Google Earth look and map of the whole world, right? So if I sort of click on North America, I've got 3,963 maps available. I can roll in with my mouse wheel and start to see where they're located. Right, so it's just there's a map of Toronto. Looks like airspace, right? So if you're interested in Toronto airspace, there you go, and just everything you could possibly imagine. If you wanted to, so you can search by location. So if you're in a certain location, which you might, right? Because that's what search is based on. You can just zoom to that area pretty quickly, see what's there, right? I think the vision here is that there's going to be a gazillion maps in here, and you'll be able to quickly find, a map, right? And that's what I want, just a map, right? So find a map right in here, and you're off. You can also click, you can search Soar's Digital Atlas, use the search function, and we've got Normandy, 1944. We've got Ukraine in 8/17/23. So like last week, we've got aerial images, all sorts of pixel-based things that have been uploaded by various people, all over the world, right? Which I think is a great democratizing feature of this, right? So let me go back here to the main screen. And if I want to click on climate, say I wanted to find some climate data, I will go in here and say, let's say I want Oceania, and I've got categories. So people have tagged them with different, features about the map. Like, so let's say I want, a climate map in Oceania. I can search for it, by the image as well as on the map. So if you just kind of know what you want, or you don't know where it is, you're like, I'm interested in the urban heat island effect, right? I could type that in and do a search like you would in Google. So you can, and then it would show you these places, and I would just click on them, and here's floods in Western Australia, a map of that in January of 23, right? So great way to kind of search around, whether it's location based or typical Google, your basic Google search, right? So let's here's a map of, bring it to a cool one, back to my PowerPoint here. Second. So here's a map of, a historical map, right? So this is pretty neat, right? So, uploaded by Stanford University, map of the English settlement in Shanghai in 1866. Beautiful map. Oops. And we can, if I had this live, let me go back and do this live. So let's find it. either just, roll in to Shanghai. This is sort of downtown. Let's see. Get rid of that. Here it is. So it's this map here. So georeference image of a map that Shanghai was published in 1932. Historical data of the whole city, including roads and structures. So we can look at this map. This is actually a different one. And use the transparency tool and kind of, zoom in to where we want. And let me see on that other one. So the northern and eastern districts, right? So you can look in here, see where the roads were, and use the transparency tool and kind of look down into where the roads were, the different road names, where the Shanghai Waterworks was here, what's changed, so kind of a cool historical way to look through this. I mean, this isn't new. A lot of people have been doing this. David Rumsey comes to mind. But Soar is trying to get all of it, right? So having all of these maps together, I don't want to go to 10 different websites to find historical maps. I want to go to one place, and that's what Soar is looking to do. All right, so moving on to connectivity for researchers. Forging new connections is where the magic happens. When you get two people that are interested in a place and coming at things from different angles, I think that's where the real magic happens. Here is a hillshade uploaded by Christopher Amante, who works for NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, federal level here in the U.S. And, this is a continually updated digital elevation model to support coastal inundation modeling. We've got a legend here and, a lot of great information. So, they're letting the world know that they have this data. There's a link here where you can go and find where it came from. If you want to download it yourself and use it in your GIS system, that's great. And it's a way to advertise and a way to let people know what's going on. Right, so this is cool data. I just kind of zoomed in a little bit here, and you can have a hyperlink to where you want to go. So here is everything you want to know about this technology, right? And you can go to read this article, and really learn a lot. If you want to dig as far as you can, it puts you in the right area, right? Here is one from Umbra. They do synthetic aperture radar. So this is the Charles River here in downtown Boston. So similar, same area as what we're looking at here. 35 centimeter signature aperture radar SAR data. It can see through clouds. It can see things at night. It's a great digital technology. So you can comment on the map. You can contact whoever put it up there. You can get links as to where you can find more information. That's what I love about Soar. Like, you are able to not just see the map, that's great, but able to connect with the person that put it up, who knows something about this, who may be interested in researching, right? So, at this conference, I've seen probably 20 or so presentations to this point in the past few days. All but 2 of them had maps on them. Okay, so think about all the research that's going on that is location-based, like pretty much all of it, especially in the environmental world where we live. And, if you can take that data and, put it up there for the world to see, and someone else is doing some other research that's like maybe a different topic, something historical, but they have some information, and you can get together and do collaborative work, or just email and encourage them, or that's where something cool is going to happen, right? Connecting people that otherwise wouldn't have gotten connected. So that's what I like about that, right? So for researchers, a great way to get your real research, right? All the nuts and bolts and the guts of that research you're doing can be online somewhere else, and that map will help people get to it. Right, because right now it's probably sitting on your hard drive, right, in your university computer. And yeah, it was published a couple years ago, but why not get it out there and just spread it further, right, beyond what Google does. All right, here's so exposure for everyone, number 3. So there are a lot of citizen scientists out there, a lot of people that just like to make maps and use drones and do certain things. Here's a map that I created with my drone years ago up in the North Shore of Boston. This is a drone, about 300 acres of drone imagery assessing the trees in this reservation. Gypsy moths had come in and torn it apart, and I did this project and say, okay, we can every year at the same time take these same pictures and get a digital assessment of the health of the plants, right? Nice little project. Upload the same drone mission, get the exact same pictures, and that. So I had this. It's been sitting on my, like I said, sitting on my hard drive for a long time, and I put it up into Soar. And if someone wants to grab it and use it, great. If not, fine, right? Like it's a kind of a nice picture, right? But it gets it out there for the world to see. And if anyone wants to talk about it, I would love to get someone's input on this. Here's another example. Here's a map. I don't know who this is. Lucas Ho, Wellesley, Mass, near Boston. Here, like they took some drone imagery of this park, and it is a nice shot, like crystal small pixels. I think Lucas is, probably just was out flying his drone for fun and puts it out there. But now everyone knows. Okay, here's some demonstration. This guy Lucas knows what he's doing. He's in the area, right? He may be able to take a picture down the street of something. Why not, right? Like get that imagery up there. It's a bit of an upgrade from Google Earth, right? So just citizen scientists, right, can get discovered, right? Here's another application. This is a map of Bermuda. Beautiful, isn't it? I made this myself. It's on Etsy if you're interested in buying a good Christmas present. But like an artist who makes maps just doesn't necessarily need to be some sort of big scientific project or research or anything, but just artistic maps. Be up here as well. If someone wanted a map of the island and say, hey, I kind of like that, they can reach out to me and say, hey, can I hire you to make another map with different things? Or maybe I'll get some Etsy clicks on it, right? People look at it and say, hey, I want to buy that for my mother-in-law for Christmas, right? And they can go and, as an artist, it's free to upload, and maybe you get some business out of it. And I can also direct people, from my own website to here and say, hey, if you want to see where these maps are on the Earth, it places them down on the Earth, and you kind of get the digital globe functionality that adds to your offering. And then the fourth benefit to Soar is this easy access to satellite imagery. Soar has bring this up here. So you go to the satellites tab. There's many other features in here. I encourage you to go poke around. But if you go to, we've got some free data here, sets here. This is the Sentinel imagery from the European Space Agency. So they circle the globe every 5 days, and we'll take pictures of everything. So what I'm going to do is find the area of interest that I'm interested in, and I will get these true color imagery. These are 20 meter pixels. You can get down to 10 if you draw a small enough box. And I can, let's say I like this one from August 13th, which was, a couple weeks ago. I can go download this, hit the download button. You need an account for this. And download that, and it's a georeference image. It will pop right into your GIS system, and you can use it, to do work, right? To do research, to do art, right? Here is one that I did, another one that I have at Etsy of Anegada, which is in the British Virgin Islands, a wonderful little island. And just this is a Sentinel image. This is a beautiful image. I tweaked the colors a little bit to kind of bring out the blues, and I don't know. I think it's a neat image, right? It's beautiful, and you can see it's really quite stunning and good pixel resolution when you zoom in. We could also do things like look at different areas. This is Sentinel Hub data from August 3rd of 2023, so it's like 3 weeks ago, of this development in Shanghai. And then I can look back, July 30th of 2019, I happened to be there on that day and saw this, and can kind of look at the different stages of development and see what things have been being built, and kind of do a study of this and kind of look at it, and a lot of different uses for this, right? To look at things over time. Every 5 days you get another image, and you can kind of see how things are progressing. You can even get naturalized difference vegetation index, NDVI. It looks at plant health. Here is the Neponset River in Boston. So I can look at plant health over time throughout seasons. I can look at false color imagery. Kind of looks more at impervious surfaces and paved areas, and other Landsat data as well. Not just Sentinel data, but NASA's information. This is higher resolution. I think it's 30 meters. Yeah, 30 meters. This is from May 6, 2023. But a beautiful image, right? And you could bring that into Photoshop and make the colors a little more contrasted and stand out more. So, here's another one I did. So you can not just grab the images, but here's an example of quick map I made. Kind of put some labels in there and tweak those colors. And so this is the cruise we took on Friday. Take a look at the research station. So that is all. Thank you very much. If you have information, check it out in the links down low. And love to talk about this stuff. And Soar is a great tool. I really encourage you to go get a username, get attached to the community, upload some maps. It's just, if you're a map nerd like me, you're going to find yourself looking at a lot of maps. And I think it's a great piece of technology. And it's going to be interesting to see where they go. All right. Thank you.